The way this game frames grief and loss is so memorable. It's something that's woven into the very structure of the world. Most games use loss as a spark. Something awful happens and that event becomes your motivation. Grief becomes a tool to push the story forward. But in Clair Obscur Expedition 33, grief isn't a starting point. It's the foundation of the story. These expeditions exist because the people of this world refuse to accept that this broken reality is all that they have. They want to understand it, challenge it, and push back against the system that has defined their lives for generations. It's a cycle built on failure and hope. Each expedition is another attempt to fix a world that keeps slipping through their fingers, and the numbering of these expeditions almost feels like counting losses. Every new group inherits the failures of the ones who came before, carrying their burden and the hope that maybe, just maybe, they'll be the ones to end this cycle of pain and suffering. The prologue of Expedition 33 might be one of the strongest openings I've ever experienced in a video game. It begins with some incredible music and a shot of a monolith marked with a 34, and the very first lines exchanged between Maël and Gustav immediately set the tone.
If you're gonna give someone flowers, you should probably do it before they wither and die.
What, the flower? Or Sophie?
Ooh, dark. Sophie would approve.
This banter shows two people who have grown numb to the constant presence of death, yet still cling to humor as a way to survive. It's a small moment, but it tells you everything about the world you're stepping into. In these opening moments is when the game reveals how it intends to tell its story. Expedition 33 never dumps exposition on you. It doesn't hand you a neat explanation or a checklist of motivations. Instead, it gives you fragments, just enough to spark questions, just enough to make you lean in. It trusts you to connect the dots, and honestly, that's such a refreshing approach to storytelling in games. Instead of being told what to feel or think, you're invited to discover it piece by piece. And right after that first interaction, the question that stuck with me was simple. Who is Sophie and why is she withering away? Then after a brief tutorial over some rooftops, we get part of our question answered in who Sophie is, but she is very much alive and not withering away. Gustav and Sophie then walk through the town square and talk with various NPCs while they drip feed us some more information. The best example of this is the interaction here.
Oh, Sophie.
Marie.
Your flowers. I didn't know about. I thought you were younger. And yet you didn't have children.
I'm not having this conversation with you again. Not today.
Do you care so little about the future of Lumiere? How can you be so selfish?
I'm not selfish enough to bring others into our doomed world.
It starts becoming clear pretty quickly that this homage might be the answer to the second part of our question. So after a bit more wandering and talking, you eventually make your way to the harbor, and that's where everything finally clicks. The music alone tells you you're about to learn something important. The moment that first heavy piano note hits, the whole atmosphere shifts.
I'm here.
Holy shit, what a gut punch. And it's happening within what, the first 20 minutes of the game? What makes this and the rest of the story so effective is how the game refuses to explain anything before the moment is right. It gives you just enough information to start forming your own theories, little hints and fragments, and right when you reach that point where you need answers, when the tension is stretched as far as it can go, the game finally gives them to you. It adds this extra layer of satisfaction to the story. You're not just being told what's happening, you're discovering it. That's how the storytelling makes you feel a glimpse of what real loss might feel like. Through its music and moments like Sophie's Gommage, it makes you feel what the character would be feeling, so you mirror their emotional states. The game provides emotional impact before giving you all of the context. You feel it before you fully understand it. After Sophie's Gommage, the game quietly shifts gears. The story gives you a brief moment to sit with the weight of what just happened while you meet the rest of your expedition. It's a surprisingly warm, albeit small stretch of the game, where you get to talk to your expedition crew. You get to see their quirks, their humor, little flashes of their personality. I remember thinking to myself how genuinely charming the crew was, and how excited I was to spend more time with them. But that warmth doesn't last long. After those small, comforting conversations, the expedition sets sail, and the tone changes completely.
Santé, les amis.
Santé!
Yeah, no, I could use a drink.
Once the expedition lands is when the real hopelessness of the world kicks in. There is no grand arrival or sense of adventure. The second the boat lands, you can feel something is off. It instantly makes you feel this sense of dread, and the stillness of everything makes you feel like something is wrong. You just don't know what it is yet.
How did you survive the Gommage? Which expedition are you from? Fall back!
This scene is powerful because it answers one question while immediately opening the door to more. We already understand what the Gommage is, and for a moment it feels like the story has given us a clear direction. Stop the paintress and end the suffering she's causing. And I honestly thought that was going to be the driving point for the rest of the game. But Expedition 33 never lets you settle. The moment you think you understand the stakes, it throws something new at you. Like the mysterious man who just wiped out our expedition. Who is he? How is he old? The game keeps you in this constant state of curiosity and dread, always wondering what's coming next. Thankfully, you learn that Gustave has survived, but even the small relief doesn't make the situation feel any less hopeless. What's the point now? Most, if not all, of your crew is gone. There's no way you can take the Paintress on alone, and Gustav is thinking the exact same thing. Then you stumble across a pile of bodies from past expeditions. The weight of everything that had just happened settles in. Surrounded by the failures of those who came before, with nowhere else to turn, it feels like there's only one way out.
You do that, we both die. Hey. Fucking hell. Wake up, Gustav.
Oh, wow.
Lune. The others.
I know. We're the only ones left. You don't get to die.
It's just a matter of time before we're already dead. Look around, look.
This is not a foregone conclusion. When one falls, we continue. Get up. We need to find a safer place. There are Nevrons around.
Thankfully, you weren't the only one who survived. Lune finds you at your lowest point and pulls you back before you completely gave up. She grounds you with that simple but powerful reminder. When one falls, we continue. It's not just meant to comfort Gustav, it's a statement about what these expeditions are built upon. Moments like this show how these characters carry their grief, and how the game quietly makes you carry it too. They don't pretend the pain isn't there. They acknowledge it, they sit with it, but they choose to move forward anyway. And that's what makes this scene so important. You start to understand that continuing isn't about believing everything will turn out fine, or that the journey will be a success. It's about honoring the people who came before you, respecting the weight of their failures and sacrifices, and pushing forward so the expedition that follows might have a chance. Shortly after this, you run into your first real boss fight, and once you defeat him, you discover a message inscribed on a tree. This is the moment where Gustav throws all caution to the wind, and honestly, it's hard to blame him. He's desperate for something, anything, that can give him direction again. He latches onto this message because it's the first sliver of hope he's seen since the expedition fell apart, and he needs that hope to keep moving, to feel like this journey still has purpose. After some brief arguing at camp with Lune, we make our way through the corals, and we're finally reunited with Mael in what feels like the first happy moment in this game. It's the first time that you feel this expedition might not be for nothing.
Mael?
Gustav? Are you real?
After reuniting with Mael, you run into your first Gestrel, and they bring some much-needed laughter to the journey. Their quirky dialogue, strange demeanor, and charming personalities make it impossible not to smile whenever they show up. And thankfully for us, the next stop on our path is an entire town full of them, as they might have an answer as to how to cross the other sea that stands in the way of us and the Paintress. The Gestrels matter because they break the tension after such a long stretch of emotional heaviness. Their presence gives both the characters and the player a chance to breathe, to relax for a moment, and to remember that not every part of this world is defined by despair. In a story built around loss and the constant threat of danger, these small moments of joy are essential. They let you smile, even briefly, and forget just how harsh the journey really is. At this point, we've learned that Gustav is a fatherly/brotherly figure to Mael. We also get these beautiful conversations between the two of them throughout the journey that really shows how strong their bond is. They're able to talk openly about the gommage and about death, but they're just as willing to laugh and tease each other. That balance, the heaviness and the humor, makes the relationship feel incredibly genuine and so heartwarming.
Being out here isn't what I expected.
As expected. Hey. You okay?
Death out here's not like death in Lumiere, is it? I thought I was used to losing people. But not like that. On the beach. That man.
Yeah, I know. You know, that's the insidious thing about the gommage. It's predictable, almost gentle. It makes Lumiere complacent and accepting, but the gommage is equally violent than death. Death is just as final. Look, if death approaches, I want you to run. No, promise me. Run. Especially if we meet the man from the beach. We can't face him. You see him, you run.
Only if you do the same.
Oh, I'm running as soon as I see a strand of white hair, trust me. You won't even see me, I'm running so fast.
Oh, please, you're an old man. I can outrun you any day.
Yeah, right.
As you make your way into the Gestural village, you're told of someone that goes by the name of Esquier, who is supposedly your best chance at getting across the sea. The only problem is that his cave is locked behind a password, and the Gestrals insist you earn it by completing a combat trial. Fortunately for us, at the end of that combat trial, you're introduced to your fourth party member, Ciel. She's another survivor of the beach massacre, and her presence brings a quiet, refreshing sense of hope to the group. She's living proof that the journey wasn't a complete loss, and finding her here, safe and surrounded by the warmth of the Gestrals, amplifies that relief even more. This moment lifts Gustav's spirits and boosts party morale. After our bout in the village, and with the password in hand, we head to Esquier's cave and present it to the Gestral guarding the entrance.
Golgra said to shout the password as loud as we can. Well, Gustav, you're the loudest.
Really? Hey.
Come on, don't be shy.
Get out of my way!
Jeez, tu pochino ma parino.
No, it's just it's the password.
Rico femicola, gor granda bare bombino, passwordito. Gomiku rapito sava.
Look, I am very sorry. It's just that Golgra told us that's the password, and
Come on, it's a Gestral. He'll have forgotten in about a minute.
I'm sorry.
What I love about this moment is how genuinely human Gustav feels. He's not yelling out of anger, he's yelling because the Gestrals literally told him to shout the password as loud as he could. And the second he realizes how ridiculous he sounded and how hurt the Gestral is, he apologizes in this soft, embarrassed way that makes him feel so real and relatable. You make your way past the cave entrance and meet Esquier. This is our companion who will be our boat, but he needs one of his rocks in order to help him swim. You know what? This sounds fucking ridiculous, so I'll just have SK explain it.
Golger said you could help?
Mon ami, a rolling stone gathers no moss.
Pardon me?
In the stories, they say Esquier likes to speak in riddles.
In what way?
I don't get it.
We really need to cross the sea. Would you please help us?
There's a lot of you to carry. I'm strong, but I'm not that strong. I will need Flory,
Who's Flory?
one of my rocks.
Rocks.
See? Flory helps me swim. But Flory was stolen by my arch nemesis. The one whose every step shakes the foundation of the world. The one known as... François.
Okay.
François is my neighbor.
Okay. Well, I guess we could take a look.
Fantastic. Good luck, mes amis. Please, bring Flory back to me.
You then head across the cave to retrieve what you think is the rock Flory from Esquier's arch nemesis, Francois. But once you bring it back, we find out that this isn't Flory. His actual rock is somewhere called Stone Wave Cliffs, so naturally that becomes our next destination. Between Esquier's cave and Stone Wave Cliffs, we're treated to another heartfelt moment between Gustave and Maëlle. Maëlle is partaking in Gustave's favorite little hobby.
I see why you like throwing rocks. I don't understand what's happening. And I feel like I never understood. Like, I'm always missing something that everyone else just gets.
Yeah. I hate it too. Things we don't understand. They just make us feel small and powerless. But it helps, you know, to focus on the things I do understand, on the people I care about and who care about me. And, you know, now I feel a little less lost, because at least we're lost together. What? What? Stop it. Too cheesy? No. Well, if it makes you feel better, I was even more lost when I was 16.
I heard that was because you were only thinking about girls.
Yep, but guess what? The girls weren't thinking about me at all.
I believe that.
Yeah. You can talk to me, you know. We're family. Well, that's what the paperwork says, at least.
Well, the paperwork probably says we're dead too, so...
Yeah, probably. Ooh, nice one.
I know.
This is such a touching scene because it shows how deeply they understand each other. They're both feeling lost, both carrying so much grief, yet they still manage to laugh at each other. Even after everything they've been through, they can share this small, quiet moment of connection, and it's beautiful. We then make our way through Stone Wave Cliffs, and after taking down another boss, we finally recover Esquier's stone that will help us cross the sea that stands in the way of us and the Paintress. And before we make that journey, and to celebrate our win, it only feels right to toss a couple of rocks at the Paintress. But just as that moment of triumph settles in, you hear a sound you recognize instantly, a sound you've been dreading.
What about that one?
Does it really matter?
Well, you know, like I always say, it's not about the rock. It's more about... Run. who come after.
After a short fight with this man, one that even ends in a victory screen, the game gives you this brief, cruel flicker of hope, and for a moment, you really believe that we might make it out of this alive. Now this is where my video ends, but anyone who's played the game knows there's so much I didn't cover, and that was intentional. I didn't want this to be a full breakdown of every plot point or twist. I wanted to focus on one thing: how human this game feels and how powerfully it makes you experience the grief and pain these characters carry. There are entire story beats and world building details I left out because they deserve their own video, and because experiencing them firsthand is part of what makes this game so special. This game isn't something you just play or watch, it's something you feel and experience. This video is my way of highlighting the part of Expedition 33 that hit me the hardest. This game is genuinely something so special, and if you haven't played it yet, please do yourself a favor and experience it for yourself.